Welcome back to video number 2 of part 1. This is about the simulation itself. So what is actually a simulation? Let me explain by a very simple quote. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And that's one thing that they always say when dealing with innovation and creating new things. But it also explains how complex actually innovation management is. So if you do one thing over there, it can result in something else in a totally different in a totally different process. For example, all things are connected, and what simulations do is they try to connect all the different processes that are going on, and as such simulate like a real life situation. Yeah, so in an interconnected world where everything is connected with each other. This is an academic simulation based game, as we call it. So first of all, it's academic. Yeah, so its primary audiences is academic students or academically educated professionals. Yeah, so it's a high-end strategic level game. Yeah. Second of all, it's simulation based. So the dynamics of the game are largely based on a complex simulation of real-world systems. In this case, innovation management systems. Yeah, processes, problems, challenges, everything is part of that. Yeah, and third of all, it's a game. Yeah, that means that we use the simulation to find out who understands the simulation best and who can work with the simulation and create the best results out of it. So it's a battle in which participants compete against each other using a different number of iterations where we repeat different actions in order to see if you have been able to improve yourself. Yeah, and it is also does also include a scoring system through which we can measure your performance. Yeah? When playing this game on an academic level, we ask you to focus on things like strategic thinking, analysis, doing thorough analysis and research, creativity and envisioning, yeah, imagining what's possible, reasoning and argumentation, a very important aspect of the game. So you will be able to make decisions. But can you also give me the right arguments for why you would make the decision? And it's about ambidexterity. And ambidexterity means dealing with both exploration and exploitation, the paradox of harnessing and unleashing ideas at the same time. Yeah? Then we can see here an example of how this works. Yeah? This is an example of dealing with ambidexterity, exploration versus exploitation, and how it works in a simulation. What are the effects of small decisions that you can take in order to improve, for example, the amount of exploration that you would achieve as a company, or the success of your exploitation as a company. It's just an example. It's from a paper from Walraven, and it has been. And if you want, you can further read the full article. But it's an explanation of how a simulation works and how each of the different elements is going to have an influence on each other in order to create a specific outcome. And this is also how the game works. Over here you can see the exact game dynamics of this particular game. So basically what you do is you try to understand theory, and based on that theory you're taking decisions. You're doing this in a number of iterations. We call that rounds. Yeah, so there are in total 6 different rounds where you continuously take small decisions in order to improve your score. In the back end, there are a lot of variables that start working if you take the decisions, and then in the end the simulation creates a performance report for you or for your team, and it's your job to analyze the report. Yeah, so to observe what's in the report, to assess all the information and think critically about it, to design a new strategy and to implement a new strategy. Yeah, that is basically the backend simulate how the game in the backend works. Yeah, so as I already explained, there are a number of rounds in each game. Basically, this is what we call a learning loop. Yeah, so in this game you will go to similar learning loops quite a lot of time. Usually 5 or 6 rounds means 5 or 6 learning loops. Each learning loop consists of 3 stages. Yeah, it's about analyzing your performance. Yeah. Then basically looking at your performance and understanding it, understanding it, then do a thorough analysis of this performance and trying to include everything that you already know about innovation management. And then third of all, taking decisions. Yeah. And then there is what we call a thing which is an assignment, which is one specific job that we basically give you at the beginning of each round in order to get the most out of that round. Yeah, and the assignments can sometimes be very small, but they can also be much larger. Yeah, this is what we're going to repeat throughout the game. Yeah. So far, I've said, I think, enough about the working of the simulation. So this is the end of this video, and I will see you back again in another video. Thank you very much.